Hello everyone, we are Tricky Mayo Group and today we will explain our CLIL project called the water cycle. First of all, we will explain an introduction, then a justification. After that, we will speak about the tasks and finally a conclusion. Its main focus is on understanding the water cycle and its importance, which is a very important idea in science. This plan is part of the natural, social, and cultural environment subject, and we have chosen this topic because it's a basic and important concept for primary school students. The main ideas we will work on are evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection, and our language goal is to learn the English words about the water cycle and how to talk about science stuff. We choose this topic because it's simple and important and easy for young students to understand and to learn. Also, we have connected it to why it's important to take care of water and how water is part of our lives. We think this topic is interesting for students in sixth grade, and we found a lot of material to work online. On the other hand, students learn not only a foreign language, they also can reach scientific knowledge and apply it to everyday life. And finally, we want to show how the forces of CLIL are connected: content, communication, thinking, and culture. And one new thing about our plan is that we will do hands-on experiments and make a final poster with the information.
Our teaching will use project-based learning, task-based learning, and a mix of different ways to teach, like direct teaching, practice, and task. Specifically, we will focus on descriptors such as seeking and selecting information, asking and answering simple scientist questions, and identifying and analyzing the characteristics of the elements or systems of the natural, social, and cultural environment. We have planned six classes. First, we will get students thinking with a question: where does the water we drink come from? Then we will teach the important words and talk about a real news story about a water problem. Next, the students will work in groups to put the water cycle steps in order and do an experiment to see the cycle in action. Finally, they will make a poster in English to explain the water cycle, describe the experiment, and give tips on saving water. For grades, we will use both formative and summative assessment. We will also have students grade each other to help them learn from each other. To help students learn, we will use picture experiments where they can touch things and group activities to help them understand.
Activities. In this part, I will explain the activities that we have done. We have designed 5 sessions for this didactic unit. The activities are: the first one, introduction to the water cycle with a new story. The second one, the water cycle and the steps of the cycle. The third one, water and our memories. And the fourth, the final experiment. In the first activity, called Introduction to the Water Cycle with a New Story, we will start with a question to get students thinking. Where does the water we drink come from? We will use a real news story in English about a water problem and have an activity where students match words in English with what they mean in Spanish. Then we will introduce key vocabulary. In the second activity, called the water cycle and the steps of the cycle, we will explain the steps of the water cycle: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. The students will work in groups to put cards with the steps in the right order and draw the water cycle. The third activity, called Water and Our Memories, is about researching different information about the water cycle or water pollution and talking to a family member about their memories or experiences with water. In the next class, the students will have to practice the grammar used in the sentences they wrote in the previous class. Finally, the final product consists of creating an information poster in English where students will explain the water cycle, describe the experiment conducted in class, and share tips for conserving water. After that, they will present their poster to the class.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about the assessment. Our assessment includes formative and summative methods to evaluate students' learning. As we can see here, for summative assessment, we will use a rubric for the final poster presentation to assess clarity and accuracy of content, and vocabulary use, creativity, presentational skills, and teamwork. We will also give short quizzes to check students' understanding of key concepts. On the other hand, for formative assessment, we will use an observation checklist to track class participation, ability to follow instructions, and ability to express ideas in English. Well, in conclusion, CLIL has helped us see how language can be used as a tool for learning content and improving communication skills. Through this project, we have learned how to create educational materials in English, making lessons more dynamic and engaging for students. One of the most important aspects we have discovered is the significance of teamwork in teaching. Collaborating with other teachers allows us to share ideas, improve our lesson planning, and find better ways to engage students. This is especially important in multilingual classrooms, where students come from different backgrounds and have different language levels. However, applying CLIL has also been hard for us. Sometimes it was hard to explain things clearly in a foreign language, so we had to put in an extra effort to design activities. It has also made us more aware of the importance of providing clear instructions, using visuals, and offering support to help students feel more confident in their learning process. Also, now we understand better how students feel when they learn in a language they don't know well, and we see how important it is to give them good support. To sum up, we believe that this has been an interesting and valuable experience because it integrates content and language in a meaningful way. It promotes interdisciplinary cooperation, and for last, it prepares us to work in educational multilingual environments. So well, this is all. Thank you very much for your attention. We will happy to read your questions or suggestions. So bye.